Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 7, Episode 41, DJI Air 3S release next week. How is everyone doing? I see we got a full house in here, and Bill, yes, Bill is here. I did see that, Dr. Ted, and welcome. I am here, Waypoint, New England. Dr. Ted, Art is in the house. Mad Props Media, Akarasho. Let's see who else we got. Mario Napa, Richard is here. Welcome, Jim Anderson. Drone Views Media, Jaybird. Welcome, Jaybird. Good to see you. Lauren is here. Welcome, Lauren. Hope you enjoyed your visit to Marcus. It sounded like you did. Mad Props Media, Jaybird, Captain Ray. Welcome, Captain Ray. Got a lot to talk about tonight, and we're going to jump right into Hurricane. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of what's on everybody's mind right now. First thing I want to show you, and it's okay. I need to dial this in here. Okay, the coastal areas are being evacuated because the storm surge, even though it's going to be in a smaller area, it's going to be a lot higher than it was with Helen, because we're pretty much going to still have a direct impact, and we're going to take a look at that here in a minute. So let me go ahead and share this here, you guys. Okay, now what I'm about to show you is a unmarked SUV from our sheriff's department driving through a community called Apollo Beach. Now, Apollo Beach, literally, it is a beach that is on the bay, on Tampa Bay itself. So I'm gonna play this here.
Now, we anticipate significant storm surge and intense wind moving into the area as the storm impacts our community. The time to leave is now. This is the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Mandatory evacuations have been ordered for your area. Please leave now. We anticipate significant.
Well, it's getting real.
Okay. They ordered mandatory evacuations. Now this place, now we're getting live as we speak right here. Okay, emergency alert, mandatory evacuation order for zones A, B, and all mobile homes in Hillsborough. Life-threatening storm surge between 10 to 15 feet expected. Evacuate by 7 a.m. Wednesday, October 9th. Find evacuation zone, shelter, and storm-related resources at hillsborough-county-florida.gov. And you can see, let's see if I can try to get this up here. Yeah. And Bruins at Panthers. Yeah. Yeah, we just got this here. And it's a good thing when you move into a community and sign up for these alerts that they let you know that. Okay. And they're really emphasizing how important it is, even more so because a lot of people didn't take Helene seriously in the storm surge, and a lot of people unfortunately lost their lives because of that. This time around, they're not messing around. They're really clamping down and getting people out early. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and show you the latest update on the track. Now, the track really hasn't shifted a whole lot, which not very good for us. But so let's go. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. Hurricane Helene right here. You can see right here. Right now, well, tomorrow afternoon, it's still going to be a Category 4, winds at about 150 miles an hour. It's expected to make landfall by us. And when I say by us, I mean, I'm talking about right where we live, right off the coast at 2 a.m. on Thursday morning with 125 mile an hour winds. Okay. And then it's expected by Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to head back out into the Atlantic. So it's going to be a very tumultuous 12 hours for us in Florida. And our meteorologist here, and what he says right here, get a good night's sleep tonight because you're going to need it. Because tomorrow night, I imagine, not a lot of people are going to be sleeping tomorrow night. It's going to be a very tumultuous evening. And a lot of people here have told me, and I think even Valerie has said, I don't think they ever remember this major of a storm hitting the west coast of Florida like this. This is probably going to be the worst storm that's ever hit us. So we're going to need a lot of prayers. Now, I'm going to show you some of the preparations that we did, and you can take a look here and see. And it shows here. Now, this one shows the storm surge, and right where I don't know, you can probably see my cursor just a little bit. Right to the east of where it says St. Petersburg is kind of where we're at. And this red area is where the storm surge is going to hit. And they're talking 10 to 15 feet. And that's above the level of the water. I mean, that is a wall of water 10 to 15 feet high. So you need to get out of those areas. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right. Now, they're talking about for rainfall for us, probably anywhere between 6 to 12 inches of rain. Now, one of the things that's really, really nice is we got an education last go around from the someone from who manages the ponds, who actually helped build the ponds in our community, and they're on a tiered system. You know, they're all higher than the other ones, and they kind of stagger them, and they built them in such a fashion. They're all man-made. They built them in such a fashion so one drains to another, drains to another, drains to another, and then it dumps in a creek, and it's really more of a small river that's by us. So it worked well. It drained like it should. So yeah, that's part of the thing that we're facing as well too. And again, Thursday at 2 a.m. is when we're expecting that impact at 120. It's supposed to be 125 miles an hour. Now, our homes, all right, and you probably saw a post about this, and I kind of want to go over this again here. One of the things that I want to say is this. Okay, a lot of people talk about, why aren't you evacuating? Why aren't you heading out of town? Okay, right now the roads are hopelessly jammed. All right. And it's better to shelter in place. The building code, at least since Hurricane Andrew and since 2002, from what my understanding is, we have concrete block homes, okay? We have straps over the roof trusses and bound to the concrete block. Our garage doors are rated for hurricanes, and we have shutters. Now, we elected to get permanent shutters out there, not ones that you have to take off and put down. They're accordion-like. We've got almost all of them in place. I'm going to go out tomorrow morning and get the last few, because after that, when you finish that, all right, what happens is you have to live in a submarine until then. And I kid you not, okay, because the only light you get is from, there's no outside light coming in at all. It really feels like a dungeon, and it's kind of on the creepy side. But that's it for as far as that's concerned. Now, I wanted to show you something that I had to end up doing. Yeah, okay, this is a good page to do this here. Now, you guys know I have a Tundra channel, and I haven't had a lot to do on it lately. But one of the things that I wanted to do with Helen, we know there was not going to be a direct impact, so we didn't bother making plans for the truck. Well, this time around, we did make plans for the truck. And I want to show you, okay, what I had to do. Now, this is, my truck is all the way up. There's the door frame that's on the inside of the garage here. It's pushing on that. It's actually maybe dented it just a little bit here, okay? Now, this is how tight I am in the garage, all right? Now, I have a short bed Tundra here. All right. And that's Valerie's car over there. Now take a look here and see. All right. Take a look. I have, and what I was able to do was I had to pull it up at least another 1/4 inch, and I did. And I disconnected the garage door to make sure first manually it would go down, and it did. And then I hooked it back up, and then it's going up and down without any issue. But the problem that we have is, okay, and as you saw right here, in order to get to the vehicle, in an emergency, I have to climb over the hood to the Tundra, But one of the things that you do, one of the things I did on Saturday, I gassed up. Valerie's car was fine. She didn't need to get in. She was almost a full tank. But I went out on Saturday. People have been doing the last 2 days. They've been reporting a lot of gas stations have the plastic covers over the handles, meaning they're out of gas. Either that or there are lines going into gas stations, like you remember from way back in the 70s. And people curl up. That's because the people take their time and they don't do this until the last minute. And you don't do that. Okay. You absolutely don't do that. So hopefully, hopefully for us, all right. 2 a.m. Lane, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad. Dr. Ted. I'm glad you guys had a good time with Lauren. Hey, Mark. Thanks for stopping by tonight. You know, one of the things I can say right now is, all right. The other thing is, I still have to work full time. Okay. Employers expect you to work unless you have, your internet's down, things like that. They've closed our offices. So they want you to work from home tomorrow. And they're probably going to do the same thing, I imagine, on Thursday. And if you wanted to take time off, you have to take a vacation day to do this. Okay. The company's staying open. Now, in one instance, back in 2017, I forget the name of the hurricane. It was right before my daughter got married. They actually gave us a day off, which is rare. They don't normally do that. And the shelves are getting empty today. I mean, it's like, imagine for those of you up north, a snowstorm's coming, a bad snowstorm's coming. You go to the grocery store, there's nothing there. I mean, people clean out the shelves, everything. Oh, I know one thing I got to do, and I haven't done that. And yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. So, you gotta, you just hang in there. Okay. You just hang in there. You do what you got to do. And, all right. Sorry about that. I had to get Marcus and Ron links to come on tonight. I forgot to send that out to them. Hey, Marcus.
Howdy.
Sorry, I've been running at 110 miles an hour.
No explanation needed, Bill. I understand.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. Well, on top of all this, and I was just telling everybody, on top of all this, I'm working full time. Okay. And so is Valerie. Both of us are working from home. And it's just like, and on top of everything else, you're doing preparations for hurricane stuff. I'm doing it on my lunchtime, after work, before work. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to finish getting the shutters taken care of. I got the Tundra. You probably saw my pictures. I had a 1/4 inch, Marcus, a 1/4 inch to spare in my garage.
Yeah, you've got that thing just made it in there. Hey, can I say one thing?
Sure.
You were just talking about your employer, and I'm going to be honest with you, it pissed me off. In a situation like you're in Florida right now, my God, why aren't they giving people saying, hey, if you need to do what you need to do, and come to work if you can, but if you can't, I just think that's,
and unfortunately, it's just not mine. It's every employer around here. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
And see, that kind of blows my mind away because Valerie's going to take a vacation day on Thursday. Now, I forget I think it was Ian back in 2017. They actually gave us a day off, which is very rare. Okay. And being in retail, they're very rare in terms of when they do that. But Ian had a real devastating impact. That was the hardest hit since then. Okay. We took a pretty good hit from Ian. And they actually gave us a day off. And we had to call in. There was a special number that we had to call in and it notified our manager that we checked in to let us know that they wanted to know that we were okay. And that there was a special number set up. So they do some good things regarding that. But, most places right now, I know myself, Valerie, nothing along those lines. My stepdaughter, same thing with her. They're expecting this stuff. And it just kind of boggles my mind. It's like, okay, you got to juggle everything that you're doing and trying to prep, but then they want you to work full time as well. And it's just like, your head's about to explode with stuff. Because, think about it. We're having to get the shutters taken care of, making sure. Well, I went out and got gas on Saturday. All right. Yesterday, many places are out of gas. And then the other ones look like lineups back in the 1970s, people lining up around the block going to get gasoline. And also banks. All right. people go and they get money out because a lot of times ATMs don't have backup
Right.
generators and you can't get cash out to do that. And store shelves like at Publix, okay, empty. Well, we went Sunday morning at 7:30, okay, which is unheard of for both of us, okay, to go grocery shopping. It was a full parking lot at 7:30 in the morning. And it was crazy. So, we're as prepared as possible for it. Now, it's not going to really, the actual landfall is not going to happen until 2 a.m. Thursday morning, but it's going to be about 12 hours of Hades until it gets out over. It's going to cut right through Central Florida and then go right out into the Atlantic. All right. But we're supposed to get anywhere between 6 to 12 inches of rain. We're also supposed to get a 10 to 15 foot storm surge. And that storm surge, it's going to be worse than Helene. All right.
Oh, of course.
They've already, I played at the beginning of the episode. They already played it's by where we go out to eat. And it's a place called Apollo Beach. And the beach is on Tampa Bay side of things, not on the Gulf, but they have mandatory evacuation down there. And it's normal homes like ours, but they're literally right on the water. And that's 7 miles from us. So we're good as far as that's concerned, and I've had a number of people check in and check to see how we're doing and, asking us to evacuate. And I told them, I said, really with something like this, your best option is shelter in place because we're built, we're concrete block. We have hurricane shutters that are rated for category at least 2 or 3 winds to be able to withstand that. There's straps over the way they build the houses. The trusses are strapped through the concrete blocks. So, it's pretty solid as far as that's concerned. Hey, Ron. So, so it's pretty, they're pretty solid with that kind of stuff. And the other thing is that I tell people is this, you go out to try to go on to say 75 North, it's a parking lot right now. I know we had our next door neighbors a few years back in our other house. They went to Alabama. It took them almost 15 hours. It's normally like an 8-hour drive. It took them like 15 hours. And the other problem is you get caught in an area and there's a rainstorm. There could be a flash flood and you can be in your vehicle during a flash flood. And that's the worst place in the world to be during a flash flood. So, your best bet is to get in there. If you're not in a flood zone, which we're not, get all your shutters up, get everything closed, everything inside, and just ride it out. We also have the benefit of having our generator as well too. Now, one of the things that they tell you to do, because our generator is powered by natural gas, don't cook on the stove, don't run the dryer, things that use natural gas, use a microwave instead, that kind of thing. But and one of the other things that we're going to do, we turn the thermostat down, and then we're going to turn it up tomorrow, like probably about 10 o'clock tomorrow night to about maybe 74, 70, 75, something like that. So if our generator does kick on, it won't have to work as hard to keep the house cool. All right. So, that's kind of where things are right now for us as far as this is concerned. I mean, it's going to be, and, they said get a good night's sleep because come tomorrow night about 2 a.m. in the morning, all Hades is going to break loose.
Well, Bill, I don't know how your cell service will hold up, but make sure you have a bunch of power stations charged up and so forth so that you can stay in touch with us. And
I do. I'm supposed to get a Garmin 67i InReach. It's supposed to be delivered by 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. tonight. And the nice thing with that is it uses Iridium satellites, and it has a messaging system built in there, and you can use it in conjunction with your smartphone. So you can actually type out like normal text messages. I'm going to put my son, my daughter-in-law, my son-in-law, going to get all them dialed in on it. So we can send them messages, let them know. And what's nice is when it sends those messages, it puts your exact latitude and longitude on there. So it knows exactly where you're from. And what I did today in advance of that, I printed off 2 copies of it. I found our exact latitude and longitude. I gave a copy to Valerie and a copy to me. Now, the other thing is I have my ham radios, okay? Now, the ham radios that we want to use in this instance are the ones that really kind of look like walkie-talkies, and they're called HTs. and you can check into what's called a local net on a repeater. And I was able to do that last time with Hurricane Helene. And what's nice about that is if we need help, I can just go right on there. If the cell phones are down, I can get on there and be able to find somebody and get that. Now, one of the other things that I did last night was I charged the Mavic 3 Pro up, all 3 batteries, controller, SD cards ready to go. And what I want to do is this: if we see that there's been some localized flooding, not massive flooding around us, I'm going to send it up on Thursday morning, conditions permitting, to take a look and see how how our highways are around us, to let people know in the community, hey, it's okay to venture out, or no, you don't want to go out. The water's too deep. You need to sit back and wait. So that's where things are with all this.
Bill, you mentioned flash flooding a little while ago. I saw a flash flood in Pittsburgh before the start of the game on Sunday night.
Yeah, they had very bad weather there on Sunday night. I mean, you know how rare it is for them to postpone a game or delay a game. It doesn't really happen that much.
You saw the water running down the steps and everything at the stadium. It was like a little mini flash flood there. And
I saw some pictures today that they posted of lightning in the area. I mean, it was like all over the place. I mean, it was horrible. That's why they delayed the game as long as they did on Sunday to get that started. Didn't matter though, as far as the outcome was concerned. So, but yeah,
it was a little flash of something at the end of the game there on that defense.
Yes.
I'm sure it's probably on your agenda, Bill, but I got to tell you, I was just reading some information about that Air 3S. I'm pretty excited, man.
Marcus, did you order that beacon yet?
That's the thing.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna jump into that. The first thing that I want to go over though is, there are some crazy, insane prices on the Air 3 right now. You guys have probably seen that.
Yes.
And what's a kit with the Air 3 S and DJI RC 2? Okay, it's Igor, the picture of him right here. But it's showing it's on a 20% discount, and that's across the board, whether you're on Amazon or whether you're on and it's interesting because it's just embedded with the Air 3S right here. Whether you're on Amazon or DJI, these discounts will apply. I mean, it's knocking on the door, guys. It really, this is just too good to be true right now.
Hey, Bill, when you hold that screen right there, we forgot to mention this on Tundra Nation last night, Marcus. We talked about offline. They're showing that wide angle that comes for the Air 3S, that wide angle add-on lens well, they didn't say it last night, but we thought that may have came with the drone. Maybe it's an extra purchase.
It might be extra, yeah.
Because to my knowledge, the Air 3 did not have a wide angle option.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. I can't bring that up. Okay.
But the 1-inch sensor is the other thing, Ron. Everybody's been begging for a 1-inch sensor, and look at that.
We forgot to mention this too last night, Marcus. But did that sink in that the 1-inch sensor that came with the Air 2S and the Mavic 2 Pro was a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor? This time the 1-inch sensor is only a 12 megapixel.
I see a lot of people are screaming about that.
Did we kind of get a cheap 1-inch sensor on this?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm saying bigger pixels probably. I just think.
Well, it does got the 50 megapixel, but that's all that, what do you call it, quad bear stuff. I mean, most of the time, the 50 megapixel ones, they don't look as good as the 12 half the time.
I agree. Well, I suspect it'll look good.
Yeah, the main camera sports a 1-inch CMOS sensor offering a 50 megapixel resolution with an f1.8 aperture for crisp, vibrant shots. This will be paired with a telephoto lens that boasts a 70 millimeter focal length, f2.8 aperture, and 48 megapixel resolution, allowing for up to 9x digital zoom. Both cameras are said to feature up to 14 stops of dynamic range, which means users will capture images with more depth, detail, and flexibility for post-processing. In comparison, the Air 3 comes equipped with a dual camera system as well. The wide-angle lens features a smaller 1/1/3 inch sensor and 48 megapixel resolution, while the telephoto offers a 3x zoom with a 70 millimeter focal length. While both drones provide impressive imaging capabilities, the 3S appears to promise improved performance, particularly in low light settings, thanks to its large sensor and higher resolution. And I think that's a key right there. Better performance in low light. And I know Ron's experiencing that right now with the Action 5 Pro.
Yeah, I'm not, I'm not much of a. I don't fly much at night or whatever, extreme low light, so it's not a thing. That even when I do a video to test out, that's like maybe the only time I ever do it.
Same with me, Ron. Exactly right.
And let me add, at the holidays, I usually fly the holiday lights at night. So that's the one time a year I
Christmas
purposely
lights,
fly, or the July fireworks. 2 times a year, I purposely fly at night.
Yeah.
Now, one exciting feature of the Air 3S is the possible built-in 42 gigabytes of memory, which dwarfs the 8 gigabyte internal storage of the Air 3. With additional
Bill, I do take advantage of that on the Action 5 Pro.
Yes. With additional support for up to 512 gigabyte via micro SD card, the Air 3S could allow for extended shooting without worrying about running out of space, okay, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, the one thing that I did want to go ahead and look at is, and it blew me away because Jasper put this out yesterday. He kind of teased saying, there's something else I want to tell you guys. Stay tuned, kind of a thing. All right. And it was very interesting to see that, and I want to bring that up here. Okay.
The fact that it'll still use the Air 3 batteries, is that it?
No. Let's see here. Let's get that.
That's
I thought I had.
We had Richard asked about that on the show last night, and then a couple hours later, they put it out there on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if I can bring this up here. Let's get Jasper's account here.
Good old Jasper Ellens. Oh, Lon says no variable aperture. No thanks. Yeah, what happened to variable aperture we were supposed to get?
Get some ND filters, Lon.
It comes with it, Lon. The NDs come with it. You don't even have to call free well.
Exclusive Lake. What if your Air 3S does not need a traditional remote? What if you could just use a tracking beacon to control and let the drone follow you? It will be called DJI RC Track. More details later. Cheers. Okay. And let me go ahead and blow that up there. I mean, this is shades of Skydio all over again here.
And the Air Max, the Hover 1 X Pro Max has a beacon too.
Except it doesn't work.
Yeah, well,
those little details.
Well, we don't know that the DJI one does yet either.
Well, that's true.
The Skydio beacon can't confirm that it worked. We can't confirm that.
Jasper said again, more leaked Air 3S information for you guys. Basically, everything you want to know. DJI really managed to merge to Mavic 3 and Air 3 here, ending the chapter strong. LiDAR and the new remote is nice, but I'll pass with the Mavic 4 on the horizon, okay? And seeing some things here. Forward-facing LiDAR, Vision Assist 2.1, next-gen smart return to home, active track 360 for effortless visual appeal, DJI RC Track, dual cameras, 1-inch CMOS here, and there's the LiDAR.
LiDAR.
Hey, can you go back to that other page, Bill, that you were just on? So I have a couple questions for you. So 2 things have stuck out to me here. What do they mean by DJI RC Track?
I think that's the device that Jasper showed. We just showed.
Okay, that could be. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, then the other one is the next gen smart return to home. Because they've mentioned that a couple of times that whether you launch it off a balcony or whatever, it's going to come right back to you. There has got to be some more AI built into that thing.
To do something like that. I mean, it says right, the next gen smart return home feature ensures that whether you launch from your balcony or campsite, the DJI Air 3S can find its way back, allowing you to enjoy the excitement of flying without stepping outside. So, interesting, very interesting, and I think you're right. I think they're kind of keying on some artificial intelligence there as far as that's concerned. And now here's some more specifications on it. The image sensor, the lens, ISO range.
The ISO has been almost doubled on this one, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's the other one that sticks out to you, Ron, in the video resolution?
How about that 4K 120 frames?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I mean, holy cow!
Yeah, that kind of jumps right out at me as well too. The wide angle, medium telecamera, digital zoom, effective pixels. That's really good. I know there's more here. Takeoff weight, maximum flight time 45 minutes.
It's a little bit lighter than the Air 3.
It'll probably mean when you see 45, I almost always will subtract about 5 from it. I think a good 40 minutes. And if you guys are like me at 40 minutes, okay, my hand's getting tired and I want to land anyway. Okay. At that point in time, as far as that's concerned here.
Yep.
Maximum horizontal speed, 21 meters a second. Maximum takeoff.
That's in normal. That's in normal.
Right. That's a normal. Internal storage, 42 gigabytes, which is wonderful. Battery capacity, minimum charging time. DJI RC N2 remote controller charging time. Battery charging hub output. Okay, that's that for that. And we saw that. And now here is be sold with the RC2, and there it is with the RC2, which I think is probably, I can tell you guys right now, that's probably what I'll end up getting when I do hit the buy button.
And there's those ND filters there too, Bill.
Yep, the ND filters that are with that too, and that is huge. I mean, that is huge. It coming with that, so you don't have.
When's the last time a DJI drone came with ND filters?
That's a really good point, Ron. That's a really good point.
Quite a few drones.
I think it's the Air 2S had them, didn't it? The Air 2S,
really?
I believe. Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Correct us in the chat. I think the Air 2S.
I think the Air 2 did.
Yeah.
The Air 2 had ND filters.
I think the Air 2S did as well.
I know we were talking about the 23rd. Well, look what our buddy Igor posted. It's called Chase the View. And what's the date on here? Okay. God, my eyes.
He previously had one for the
October
15th.
2024.
Yeah, it's been, it updated. It was the 15th, but now it's the 23rd.
Yeah, this one says the 15th. And he just came out with this.
So it's the 15th. That's next week. So we should be getting the teaser then shortly. Yeah,
I imagine we'll be getting this Chase the View out there real shortly.
So
you can tell what that is. I mean, that's just an outline of the lens right there on the top, even though the bottom's whatever the bottom is, a reflection or something.
Yes.
So we've heard a couple of dates, right? So let me throw this out at you. Is this going to be another one where it's introduced on the 15th, but you can't order it until the 23rd or something?
That's possible.
That's a good point, Marcus. That's a very good point. Because and I would think they want to avoid the unpleasantries of what happened with the Neo, okay? Because that was kind of a mixed. A lot of people had mixed reactions with that. All right.
Bill, my order for the Neo is over a month old, and I still don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be surprised, and I'm just being a little facetious here, the people who order the Neo, if they order the Air 3, if it comes out, they may get the Air 3S before the Neo. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But I would hope in this instance here that DJI has gotten their inventory up to par and up to snuff, that when people do place their orders, that they'll get them within a couple of days. And I think it was that way when the Air 3 originally came out. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
Lon say in the chat that about it's delay rumors for the.
Well, he also said his exact words: "We aren't going to see squat on the 15th." Lon has a way with words. Yeah. So I am going to see something on the 15th. I ordered the Neo US combo that I ordered from the mothership that's going to arrive on the 15th. So, yeah, there's that.
Something's coming on the 15th anyways.
Yeah, that's my point.
Even if it's an old drone now.
Yep. I want to publicly thank Lawrens and Drone Dynamics up in Calgary for loaning me that Neo. I got to fly it a little bit, so I know what's coming. It's a lot of fun.
That's good. That's really good.
Preview.
with all this, I mean, there is nothing really left. I mean, except for firm pricing as far as it's
Right.
I mean, we really know everything about the Air 3S right now. The only thing that really kind of isn't rock solid is the pricing on it. You know, I keep hearing about $1,500 for with the R2 controller. I mean, what have you guys heard?
The older leaks that the pricing isn't really going to increase much from the Air 3's original pricing.
And because that's the pattern that we've seen, I'm going to side with Ron on that. DJI has really been, I think, doing pretty good about trying to keep the prices down. So,
yeah, I'm hoping it's that way with this. I mean, you know, and Lawrens, thank you, Lawrens, for throwing that in there. You know, we don't know now. You know, he could be right. You know, and I'm sure he is because he's a great source of information. That, you know, you'll probably be able to order it, but there may be another delay again with this, like the Neo. So, and I think
well, you're not predicting a pre-order, are you?
You know, if what Lon says is true, then I think it's going to be another pre-order. Go ahead, Marcus.
I just want to say goodbye to John Flynn, Flying Flynn Media. He's signing off. He's having internet issues.
Okay, John. Thanks for stopping by tonight. We'll do, John. We'll do. So, you know, here we go again, like the Neo. And do you think, and I think Lon had put something customs. Is there a delay with customs? Because again, this is all coming in on the West Coast, and even though the dock worker strike has been settled, it didn't really affect the West Coast. So these items coming in, is there a delay because of customs? Who knows?
Bill, there were no custom issues with the Action 5 Pro. That shipped the day after they announced that I got it. So that shipped immediately.
Yeah, well, it's just I don't know. It's like one of these things. You know, you think that DJI has gotten. You know, I go back to when the Mavic Pro came out. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it released in October, but a majority of people, and DJI did not gauge the popularity of this at all. It was a huge miss on their part for how popular the Mavic Pro was going to be, and a lot of people placed orders in October and didn't get them until January. All right.
But just remind people that was their first, at least in the consumer line, that was their first non-Phantom drone in the consumer market.
Yes.
Let me say this about that. So, unlike what I did with the Neo, with the Air 3S, I'm going to avoid cutting off my nose to spite my face. When I order it, I'm not going to get mad because the order gets moved out and cancel that order. I'm going to order it and wait for it to come.
Okay.
Listen, like I said, I'd have that Neo combo right now had I simply, Ron, I had ordered that off of Amazon with your link, and they kept moving that date out, and I got mad and I canceled it. Oh, I showed them, didn't I?
No, you wouldn't have it yet. It won't. It doesn't come until Thursday.
Well, baby,
that order it would be here. You still got another about 36 hours to wait.
Yeah, I would have had it on Thursday. So, all I'm saying is, my temper tantrum
Marcus, don't beat yourself up too bad. It's almost no way you could have won with the Neo.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't beat yourself up. Almost any strategy would have failed. The only strategy wouldn't have failed if you'd ordered from the mothership and not ever touched the order.
That's true.
You would have got it roughly October 1st if you did that.
Right. Yeah.
So, but who knows? Sometimes when I order from the mothership, I'm the last person to get my drone.
Well, remember when Bill got, what was it that Bill got before us, Ron? And he ordered from Amazon and he had it, and you and I were still.
Whenever I order from DJI, I always get my drone behind everybody else.
Yeah, I'm the same way. When I order from DJI, but if I order from Best Buy or Amazon, I almost always get it before DJI.
You just have to be like Bob Dempsey. You've just got to calm down and meditate.
Well, I
and just relax.
Yeah, I ended up getting the Air 3 from, I think, Adorama. I ordered because they had great financing, and I did that, and I got it in like 2 days. I ordered it like a Wednesday and got it on a Friday. I mean, it was like boom, and it was here, no questions asked. You know, and they're pretty good about, Adorama's pretty good about that. B&H is pretty good about that as well too. You know, the big thing with both of them though is, fortunately, you don't order it on a Saturday because they're Jewish, and you can't order on Saturdays because Saturday's a Sabbath. Both their stores are closed on Saturday, so you got to not be able to order on a Saturday with them. But you know, that ended up panning out real nice because it was like boom, 2 days, and I got it, and I got great financing on it. So yeah. So I mean,
well, I did kind of cheat a little bit. I got to fly Lawrens for a couple of days, so I'd say that's kind of cheating, right?
well, yeah, you're allowed to. I mean, that's absolutely good. Well, you know, and you also have to wonder too now, you know, right now with things being shipped, you know, I know FedEx put out an advisory today, and I think UPS put out an advisory today, especially, you know, it just doesn't affect the area where the hurricane is. It affects operations across the United States because of things getting delayed coming here. So, you know, it has a reciprocal effect. And that's one thing I try to remind people of. You know, when you see that delay, you know, something may be coming through this state. And if it is, it's going to be, because right now.
Well, I hope my video is not coming through Florida, Bill.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
And Bill,
He's got his fingers crossed.
And Bill, if you happen to get a Neo, you better not send up in Hurricane Milton, or it may wind up here to northeast or whatever before it comes down.
That's very true. Now, I had several questions today, and I don't know if you guys have heard anything or not. People are asking me if the Air 3 batteries will work with the Air 3S.
Yes.
And I said, I can't venture. If I would venture a guess, I'm going to say no, because I think the Air 3S is slightly bigger than the Air 3. Have you guys heard anything on that at all?
I know by the specs, the S weighs less than the regular 3. I don't know about the dimensions, but the weight is a little less.
Well, Jasper Ellens said that was, well, or was it this Drone DJ article? I can't try to remember, but he said that. Oh yeah, here's Jasper Ellens. Here you go for all the specifications that post about the specifications, Bill. He says, and an extra fun fact for upgraders: the Air 3 batteries will fit as well.
Good news. Good news.
Okay.
That's from Jasper Ellens.
So if you don't sell your
that one right there, Bill, the next one down. So, yeah, right there, right in the middle.
If you don't sell your Air 3 off or whatever, you'll have 6 batteries to play with.
There you go. Wow. Okay. All right. Wow.
Well, so Ron, Ron just made a really great point. So what do you do, Bill? I believe you already sold your whole kit,
right?
Do you just buy just a drone and a battery and keep your old kit, or how do you do that? That's kind of what I did when I upgraded from the Mavic 3 to the Mavic 3 Pro, but I don't know.
Well, the batteries were the kind of the same. There, this one you don't do that because then you only have one kind of plus battery if you do that.
So you're saying the batteries are different?
I think they're bigger as far as amps and stuff like that.
Milliamp hour?
No, they're not bigger in size, but I think they're stronger. That's how they get the 5 extra minutes of flight time.
You're saying on the Air 3 they're stronger than the Air 3S?
The other way around is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Did they get?
I think by everything we read that the battery that's going to come with the Air 3S is the same size, physical size as the Air 3 battery, but it's a higher capacity.
Well, we'll have to look that up.
Lon's right. The new batteries are denser, meaning they're going to have a better runtime than the Air 3 battery. So, and I get it about this, and Lon brought up a good point here. DJ is trying to avoid incompatible battery hatred, and a lot of people get really ticked off of that. But on the other hand, you're going to get a longer runtime with batteries from the Air 3S, and the batteries from the Air 3S are going to cost the same. I mean, if you buy them new from DJI or even on Amazon, they're going to be the same price. So, it's, but unless you do like what Marcus said, when you're selling your Air 3S, if you keep 2 of those 3 batteries, or your Air 3, you keep 2 of those 3 batteries, and you sell one, the person that buys your drone, and keep the other 2. I mean, obviously you'll get less money for it, but still, that's a way of being able to save some money.
Look at what Lauren and Lon said in the chat there. What Lauren said, it's like the Mini 1 and Mini 2 both work on. Lon said it's the same as the Action 5, versus the Action 4 for the batteries.
Yeah.
Marcus, so think about upgrading, maybe not so much the batteries, but how about this, Marcus? What if you upgrade? What if you get the Air 3S, right? But you already have the RC2 controller. Maybe you get the cheaper Flymore bundle that comes with the standard DJI RC controller. And when you sell the old Air 3S, you switch out the controllers. You put the cheaper controller you just got with the new one in, and keep the RC2. That saves you a couple $100 because in my experience, when you try to sell a drone off that has a whole bunch of accessories and things like that, people don't pay a lot more money to get all the extra stuff. Like, people see the price of the drone alone selling, and they don't want to pay a whole lot more for extra stuff. So I don't think you're going to lose all that much money in the sale, depending on the controller. Very few people want to pay a lot of money for extras.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Ron, because every time I've sold my drones, I've kept everything intact. I haven't kept batteries aside. Now, if I bought extra batteries, like for example, when I sold my Mavic 3, I only bought it with 1 battery. I didn't get a Flymore with it. So I sold it with 1 battery, the controller and everything, and I had bought 2 other batteries additional. So when I got my Mavic 3 Pro, when I got my Mavic 3 Pro, hang on a second here.
Lon saying in the chat that the RC N3 may not work with the regular Air 3.
Yeah, I thought of that as well. We don't know that yet.
It may not work with it on day 1, but maybe down the road with a firmware update. Yeah, Lon quote me there, at least not on day 1.
Yeah, well, I think on day 1, I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with this, okay? And I think they're going to be happy that they got a Flymore combo instead of – and one of the things that when I sell the units intact for me is, that other person is going to be getting – it really helps, I think, to sell that when you're selling, a Flymore kit, that they get all 3 batteries that come with that drone. And, and on the other end, I'm getting a new battery because you realize, for however long you've had that battery. Hang on just a second here, guys.
So, Ron, Bill is just saying it in the chat right now, Bill Thomas. That was the first thing I thought of too, Bill, is now that we're going to have a drone with a beacon, that truly makes the Skydio obsolete.
Yes. Marcus, back to that beacon. Do you believe that beacon is an item will be available day 1, or that's something that'll come out later?
Yeah, that's a good guess, huh? I hope so. I hope it comes out day 1, but that is a big deal for a lot of people. Now, we've had this discussion, Ron. Tracking for us, it's just kind of something fun to do. It's not anything that there's not been very many times that I felt like I needed to track myself to get some really good video, right? But it's fun to play with, I guess, is what for me.
One of the reasons tracking is something I just play with is because, like, how good of a shot do you really get when you're standing around with this controller in your hand? It just doesn't look like it for anything but a drone review. You look dumb holding that controller in your hand, right? Or this beacon. I may do it more now because you could hold the palm of your hand in your pocket. You could walk along. It doesn't look like you walk along holding this to a non-drone person. You're holding this goofy thing in your hands.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, Ron, you do a lot of vlogging that is not necessarily drone related. I could see where that's something that might help you. You have the drone in front of you. You have your own cameraman right there.
Yeah, I mean, I vlog, but I vlog more in the studio, whatever. If you're vlogging out in the thing, how you got to like memorize your stuff because you don't have notes or whatever to say, whatever. That vlogging on locations, like that's a lot of preparation.
Trust me.
Yeah, that's a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting with all this, because we're getting inundated with information about the Air 3S, and it's really kind of imminent. Is we're hearing absolutely nothing about the Mavic 4 right now. I mean, it's just gone completely cold as far as.
We will. The day the 3S comes out, that's when we'll start hearing about the
And
Mavic.
I was just you stole my thunder, Marcus. That's exactly what I was going to say. But as soon as that comes out, as soon as release is out there and all the guys release their videos, here comes the Mavic 4 talk, and we'll see Jasper again or Igor again have something out there and posted more pictures and everything regarding that. And you gotta say this, all right, because I'm gonna tell you this right now, all right. I'm getting the Air 3S, the Mavic 4, all right. Unless I hit the lottery, that's not going to happen right now, all right, because I have the Mavic 3 Pro, and I know you, Marcus, you probably of the same opinion. That Mavic 3 Pro is one of the best drones I've ever had, all right, bar none. And
yeah.
And you guys know all the rigmarole I went through to get it from Amazon, okay, and get that price from Amazon. So that's
look in the chat. Lawrens say, don't think we'll see the Mavic 4 until next year.
He's probably right.
And Jay Bird asked a few things ago about any Mini 5 news, and Jasper Ellens said back in September sometime there is no Mini 5.
And he's probably right, because there really hasn't been any talk about that, except I've had several questions this week via email and text from people out there. They're asking me about a Mini 5. I said, I haven't heard a thing. Nothing. Okay. Zero. The only other thing we've heard, and we've talked about it already, and we've seen, is the Mavic 4. But Mini 5, no, I haven't seen anything on that. Which, okay, and you think about the cycle and the way things are, because we're kind of conditioned a month of November. It's a mini release, okay? Because traditionally DJI's were kind of, I don't want to say too traditionally, but they've done it at least on 3 occasions, released the mini in a November kind of a time frame.
But not the last 2 times out. The Mini3 Pros released in the spring, and the Mini 4 Pros released at the end of the summer.
Yeah. So the first
it hasn't been a fall or November drone since the Mini 2.
Yeah, the first Mini was in the fall, the second Mini was in the fall, and I think you're right. And then after that, it was spring and summer. So it kind of
listen, guys, the Mini 4 Pro is the best mini drone on the market, and it's not even close. It's so far ahead of the competition that they're worlds ahead of anybody else. They don't really need an update.
I'll take it a step further, Ron. Okay. The mini drone that's right behind the Mini 4 Pro is the Mini 3 Pro. The Mini 3 Pro is way ahead of all the competition that's out there right now. Every other mini drone, I don't care which, I fly them all. So I'm just saying that DJI has done a phenomenal job. Now you pay a price for it too. So we're comparing it with, FEMIs that are selling for $300 or whatever. So it's not a fair comparison, but nonetheless, it's still.
What Lauren posted. Look what Lauren posted.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Mark, I just making a point that there's probably, if they release a Mini 5 just to release a Mini 5, it'd probably be an incremental update that would get people mad. Just stay with the 4 until you can really add something of value to it.
Well, Lon brings up a good point. The FCC dropped the Mavic 4. Why apply for the FCC if it's not coming out? That's a great point.
True.
Because usually, and this is one thing that's kind of been consistent throughout all of DJI's releases, is when it hits that FCC database, it's coming. Okay, it's on its way because you've actually applied for and have gotten a, it has passed the muster as far as the FCC is concerned. which means it's approved for sale in the United States. That's the only.
Of course, Bill, maybe in this instance, they just did that applied early, so it could be a kind of a holder spot in case a drone ban came or whatever. They already had approval.
That's true. That's a good point, Ron, because if they have that approval, that means even after, say, the law actually passes, okay, they can still, say, February or March next year, go out and sell it because it was done.
It was grandfathered in on this approval.
That's exactly what Lauren is saying in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but Bill, I want to expand on a point you made earlier about the Mavic 4. You and I have said, hey, if it's $3,000, we're not going to spend that kind of money or whatever. I also am going to throw the caveat out there. That's how I feel about it right now. I just don't need a Mavic 4. The Mavic 3 that I own already has way more capabilities than I'm able to use. Now, that said, if there's a feature on that Mavic 4 that I just think is the bee's knees and must have, like DJI does to us, right? They do it to us all the time. Maybe we will spring for that expensive drone.
And what if we're wrong? What if they hold the price? What if the same price as Mavic 3 is an older drone now? What if they only like the price only goes up, I don't know, like 10% or whatever, would you be back in again?
I'll sell my I'll sell my Mavic 3 Pro to Mr. Johnny right down there in the chat.
Well, I'll sell my Corvette.
DJI must think I have Marcus money.
No, I'm not selling that Corvette.
Can we reveal to the audience what Johnny purchased, ordered today?
They don't call it Johnny Drone Buyer for nothing, do they, Ron?
Or is that whatever beyond our pay grade to tell? Or
I'm fine with it. I don't know about Johnny. I'm fine with you telling Ron.
Johnny today may or may not have ordered a little drone.
Yeah, so Johnny ordered the Neo. So he said, "Oh no, I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get that." I talked to him on the phone today. I said, "Man, you need to," and so he did.
I hope Johnny used one of our links.
Yeah, yeah. Did he order it from? I think he ordered it from DJI. So
we're not DJI affiliates anymore, are we?
Yeah, no, they refused.
The affiliate program.
I tried to be a DJI affiliate. They said, "Nah, we don't want you."
Well, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but Valerie's asking me about that the other week. Didn't you used to get a lot of money from DJI? And I said, yeah. I said a long time ago in a galaxy far away. Okay, that was nice while it happened.
Those were the days.
I cleared maybe $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 from them. And I had it at the time. What had to happen was you had to reach a certain threshold for them to just, cut you a check, and they would give you that DJI credit. So what I ended up doing was buying a Mavic at the time, and then going and turning around right away and sell it and make the money that way. That's how I did that. But boy, oh boy, that was nice while it lasted.
Can I respond to somebody in the chat, Bill?
Sure.
Lon Denard, really coming from the guy that drives a Challenger Scat Pack? Yeah, don't give me that. Don't give me that, buddy.
Oh man, yeah. Wow. Well, we're kind of at the top of the hour here. Any closing thoughts, guys?
I'm going to go with. I'll tell you, I went out flying today. I flew the Autel Evo Light Plus. That's the empty spot that you see right there. And
that drone has the adjustable aperture. We're not going to get on the Air 3 yet.
We're not going to get on the Air 3. I'm telling you what, that drone is a couple years old. It is a beautiful drone still. The leaves are really starting to change. It's got a great camera on it. This is the time of year. Our weather was in the mid-70s, blue skies. The leaves are really starting to change. Get out there with your drone and get some of that. And even if you're not, like Ron, I know you say you're not in an area where you get a bunch of color changes with the leaves, but it's a you get some good weather this time of year. Well, Florida aside, but you get some good weather this time of year, and take advantage of it. Get that drone out while it's nice and mild, and do some flying.
My advice is, I'm waiting a lot of stuff to come in, Bill. I've got my new supposedly coming this week. I've got my iPhone 16 Pro Plus phone coming in this week. I've got cases coming in. I've got a lot of stuff supposedly coming. Everything was kind of on delay this season, pre-order, but stuff should be coming in. And I just want to send thoughts and prayers out to Bill and Valerie and all our drone people down in the Tampa area, Ken Dono, and all our drone brothers in Florida, to be, thoughts and prayers to be safe from this Hurricane Milton, who looks like it's a historic hurricane. Hopefully it peters out, but I don't think so. So, again, I know it's going to be a rough couple of days down there, but I hope sunny days are coming soon.
Yeah, I do as well too. And tonight, again, just wanted to let everybody know, we're not only on Bill the Drone Reviewer channel, we're on Bill the Drone Reviewer Classics, and also Bill the Technology Reviewer as well.
Wow.
Want to welcome all three of those streams. Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I just see Captain Joe is talking about the hurricane. It's up to Category 5.
Yeah, it's up to
Category
5.
165 miles per hour. Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be a real doozy. And
Bill, I saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football team already left Tampa Bay. Well, where was it? Going to New Orleans or Atlanta or someplace?
Yeah, they were heading out there. The Florida Panthers are playing right now as we speak, and they're supposed to take off tomorrow morning to go. They have what's real nice is, talk about fortuitous timing. Their next 4 games are away, which is fantastic.
Oh,
because
wow.
they're in South Florida. They're in Fort Lauderdale, the Fort Lauderdale area. So they're not really going to get the impact that we're going to get. And I want to say this, I want to thank everybody who's reached out to me, and to Valerie and to all of us here in the state of Florida. We thank you very much. This is going to be probably the worst storm I think that has ever hit this area here. All right. Helen was bad in terms of storm surge. This is going to be devastating. This is really going to be massive. It's going to be a long 12 hours for us, starting about 2 a.m. in the morning on Thursday. So just continue to remember us and keep us in your thoughts and prayers. I'm going to try to record some things as I can, as I'm able to, and as I'm able to get communications out, I will be able to do that as well. So I want to let you guys know how we're doing. We're well stocked. We have plenty of food, plenty of water. We have the backup generator. The shutters are in place. Both the vehicles are in the garage.
You got the truck in the garage, Bill.
Truck is in the garage. Go ahead, Marcus.
You got the Monopoly game board already out and set up.
Got that out as well. And what's nice is, if need be, if our internet goes down, we can, we have our phones that we can use as hotspots, because both of us have to work. Okay. And I've done that before, using our phones as hotspots, and it's worked really well. I haven't skipped a beat in terms of being connectivity with my production system over Publix headquarters. So, we're just hoping, we're hoping that the devastation isn't, that people will heed the warnings. And I think that's the big thing. A lot of people didn't heed the warnings with Helen, and the majority of the ones that lost their lives were the ones that were where the storm surge was, and they got killed because they didn't leave. So
the exception is North Carolina, though, because those places, those little hollers, as they call them in North Carolina, up in the mountains, that was so unpredictable. Mm-hmm. They were up high. The way that was the perfect storm, as they say, right? The way those clouds and the storm got stopped right over the top of them, and they got all that rain. My heart goes out to those people, and not only that, those are a lot of those people that were up in those areas. They don't have a lot of resources, so it's not like they had the ability just to pick up and say, let's just get the heck out of here. And so that was very, very unpredictable. And,
unfortunately for them, the more I read about that, that system had stalled, and that was that, as you explained last week, that atmospheric condition, and it just stopped, and it just and it had rained already previously that week, so it was just unfortunately that perfect storm that it's just horrific. And it's, I mean, I've been seeing things now. People have been going up there on mules, and backpacking and taking supplies up there. And God bless these people. There are so many people, unsung heroes right now, who are taking care of people in the area, and that's great. We've already told there are hundreds, if not thousands, of power trucks lined up here to help us out, because we're going to need it. And our generator can run for up to 96 hours, and then it automatically shuts down and it needs an oil change. So I'm hoping that if we lose power, that it won't be more than a couple of days. And what's nice is we get automatic notifications via app on our phone that the generator's running and what the status is on that. And we have a number to call where we get put in a queue, and they can come out in case there's an issue with your generator. But I don't anticipate that, because once a week it does a self-check for 10 minutes. Every Wednesday at noon, it's on, okay? And it does that, and it's been doing that ever since we had it in. So so we're hoping for the best. We're praying for the best. We're praying for everybody else. It's gonna be hellacious time, and I will get communication out to everybody to let you guys know how we're doing. And thank you again for all your thoughts, prayers, and concerns. It's just gonna be cross our fingers and pray for the best. I want to thank you all, and always, guys, remember, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.